Yes, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 18 everybody. This is my workshop and it has been full of customers over the past few days. Obviously they haven't heard of my dodgy mechanic skills and they keep pouring in the door. Or maybe it's just because I'm the only garage in the neighbourhood. Nonetheless, managed to earn quite a few skill points, so let's go ahead and spend those right now. And I am going to go ahead and expand my garage. This is going to add a path test and a repair table to my garage. So let's unlock that. Boom! Done and dusted. I've got one more skill point available. So I can see, what can I do? I could either walk faster. 10% faster walking. Don't care about that. 5% discount in shops. I'm not too worried about that. What else have we got? We can successful repair chance is raised to 55%. Okay. Tire tread tester, or instantly examine 3 parts, or unlock tablet. It gives you access to the shop anywhere in your garage. You can use, okay. Ooh, what should I do? It'll be quite handy having that tablet. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go tablet. Yep, that will be very handy for me. And there we go. So if we check out our shop, look at this. We have suddenly got a table over here, a repair bench. There are no items to work with, but essentially what this allows you to do is, instead of having to buy brand new parts, you have the opportunity to actually repair them. I've never used it before, but we should give it a bit of a go and see how it works. But the first thing we need to do, guys, is we need to check out the phone, and straight away we have a number of jobs ready to go. So we've got a story one here, that my car doesn't start, and even when it was working, the sounds it made were strange. Every morning I woke up the entire neighbourhood. Please do something so it will work and not make such a noise. This looks like an interesting job. Could take a bit of effort, so let's take that one. Should be sitting over here. Look at that green. What an ugly looking car this car is. So let's just take a quick look. Obviously, if we go to the car status, we've got a number of parts that we do need to discover ourselves. Now, he said it didn't start, so I wonder whether I'm going to be able to take it out onto the test track. I should have probably plugged in my controller before I did this. That's high organisation right there, but that's what you expect at this particular garage. Oh, hold on a minute here, guys. Hold on a minute. There is a barn. We can go parts hunting. I believe that's what that's all about. Let's go and do it. This is something I did not expect. Let's go to the barn. Okay, we'll just leave that job sitting in the garage. We can get back to it. That guy doesn't need his car anyway. Surely he's got a bike or something like that. Oh, here we are, guys. Look at this. Okay. Now, I'm not really sure. It's just junk. So we go like this. What we can do here? We can leave to our garage, we can photo mode, or we can browse, search, and sell parts here. Okay, it's just junk. This is junk also. How do we take it? Click on it. Okay. Why would we want to take it is the question. Okay, I'm not too sure. I should have really watched other videos to see what. Oh, hold to search. Oh, here we go. Here, guys, look at this. We've got an air filter, 81%. We'll definitely take that. Nah, that was a piece of crap. 42%. We'll take it. Now, let's just take as much as we can. Why not? We might be able to repair it. Who knows? Let's go back over to this junk. Okay. Let's just take all this stuff here. Ooh, this is very interesting. Now we're getting into some interesting things, isn't it? And this. We'll just keep taking it. And, here we go. We've got a car. What is it? Sakura. Never heard of it. What can we do? Let's check it out. How much is it worth? $34,000. We've got $13,000. Can we steal stuff with it? Let's see if we can. What's going on? What's going on here, guys? Let's check out the engine. me do anything whatsoever. I think you've got to buy the car first. We look and learn. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. We might be able to take all these parts. I don't know why, but let's do it anyway. Finders keepers, losers weepers, all that sort of stuff. Some of this stuff is in quite good condition, actually. Ooh, another car over here, guys. Let's look at the price of this car. $55,000. Is it car price? If we said buy a car, let's see what we have. We don't have enough money. Okay. Just testing to make sure that is actually. Yeah, more junk. Let's check it out. A lot of junk. More junk over here. Keep all this stuff. Wondering if I'm even going to be able to keep it or use it. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting looking little place here. Anyway, we've grabbed as much as we can, I think, by the looks of it. Okay, guys. Okay, I think until we get a bit more money in the bank, there's not much we're going to be able to do with those cars. So, we've got to buy all those. Price to pay. What? You've got to actually... Oh, you've got to buy them all. I had no idea. Without parts, I don't want to buy them. There we go, guys. We learn something new every day. Ha! Okay. At least we know we've got the barn there now. And we've got a couple of vehicles here. Once we build up our money, I know one thing you can do is you can buy these old cars, you can do them all up, and then you can sell them later on at the auction and at other places. So, hey, it's good to know that we've got that at the moment. So let's just quickly just check to see if there's anything else. Junkyard's not available. Car auctions are not available. Racetrack is not. Test track is, and that's what I originally came in here to do. I don't know whether that cannot start engine. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that solves that problem. Okay, well, there was a lot of mucking around for nothing, but at least we know what is going on. So let's throw this up onto the up onto what they call the lifter, what I would call the hoist. And we need to figure out what is wrong with this car. So let's just lift it up a little bit. And the engine isn't working, so that is going to be the first thing that we are going to take a look at. I'm just having a bit of a browse around, because one of the first things you want to look at is the condition of the parts, and quite often we get right down in here, down into... Okay, so straight away what you're looking for is exceptionally rusty parts, and the muffler there I can see is definitely rusty. So that's one part we're definitely going to need to look at. Let's just quickly go back to the job card, and he's saying it doesn't even start. When it was working, the sounds it made were strange. Every morning I woke up the entire neighbourhood. Okay, so that makes sense. And also we've got to change the oil. Okay, so the oil filter looks a little bit, fuel filter I should say. Let's see if that was one of the parts. It wasn't. It was indeed, actually. Okay, let's just take, while we're in under the hood here, let's take the head cover off, and we'll just see whether there might be some damaged parts under here that we need to take care of. And might as well wire in here, take a look at it. Now there's nothing here that really jumps out at this point. What am I doing? So I push the right keys. Yeah, there's no really looking shocking looking parts there. Can do a bit of an investigation here, and this is where the not having access to the test track really makes it a little bit more difficult, because what I would have done is I would have taken it for a lap out on the test track, and that would have exposed straight away a few of the parts that were perhaps not working so well. So I'll just leave that in the meantime. I might have to come back to it. The radiator's looking okay too, and let's get out of here and throw it up on the hoist a little bit higher. We know the muffler's definitely something we're going to have to deal with. So let's get in underneath the car. I don't think it's just going to let me take it off, I wouldn't imagine. Hold on, exhaust. Well, I was wrong. The rear muffler definitely goes. And the middle muffler is going. Let's check out our list. It should certainly both be on there. There we go. Both on there. Let's get out of this mode. Get out of this mode. Come on. Okay, let's have a look. What else have we got under here? It's really difficult to see anything that's really sticking out at this point. It might be a bit of a situation of trial and error just to really uncover where the bad parts are. I can't see anything in the wheels there from a braking perspective. Should definitely be probably should be engine related, I would imagine, given that that's where the reported issues were. So what I might do is, to save you the hassle of having to watch me bumble around and try to find where the parts are, I'll do a bit of work and I'll catch you on the other side once I've figured out what's wrong with this thing. Okay everybody, welcome back, and man, that was a bit of a mission. We had parts spread all over this car to try to find, but we have found them, and here we go. If you take a look through the list, we've got the middle and rear muffler, and we've got the ignition coil in the engine, 4 rusted old spark plugs needing replacement, the fuel filter, the battery was dead, and also the fuel pump. So let's go ahead and buy those particular parts. So what do we need? Let's start at the back of the car. We'll do the fuel pump and the middle and rear muffler for a start. So I can bring up my tablet. I don't need to go anywhere. There we go. And let's go for exhaust, middle and rear. So rear muffler. We need to make sure we get the right part here. Okay, let's just exit out of there and just look at our, make sure we've got it, rear muffler V8 OHV. There we go. That makes sense considering this is a V8. Rear muffler V8 OHV. There we go. Done. Let's do the middle muffler now. Middle muffler. Easy as that. $110. And then we'll go to all, and we'll go to fuel pump, and there it is. Great. Okay, those first 3 parts are completed. So here we are at the fuel tank, nice and easy. Grab the part and let's put the new part in, and our fuel pump is sorted. Right, let's get our exhaust completed here. Hold on, let's look to add rear muffler. Done. Middle muffler. Done. Great. Okay. Our exhaust and our fuel pump has been completed. Now, I have already drained the oil because I needed to do that to take a bit of a look around here. And underneath here, we can see that the pan is off, so we may as well assemble mode. Oh, hold on. Helps if we go select the part, normal mode. Here we go. Look to add some in. So let's add our front exhaust section in, which we did not need to replace, our oil filter, which we did not need to replace, and in under here we have got our crankshaft, which is not a bit that we took out at all, but we have got these bearing caps that we had to take off just to check under here properly to see whether there might have been some rusted old parts that were affecting the ability for the engine to start. It turned out that there wasn't. Let's just go in here and get these all done. Yeah, it was quite an interesting little job, this one. It took me a while just to find everything in sneaky little places. Let's just move up over here. Another rod cap holding the crankshaft in place. We've got another one here. I saw. There we go. A bearing cap. Boom, 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 boom. Another rod cap in here, and there we go. Okay, now we can put the oil pan on. And that should complete all the work that's required under the car. There we go. Let's pull the car down a little bit, lower it down. Okay, great. Let's just quickly check our job list, task list here, and we have 4 spark plugs and ignition coil. So let's grab. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button here. Ignition coil. Let's get that ignition coil. Ignition coil. Oh. I should have checked. I think it was a SOHC. It is I4 SOHC. Tablet. That's it right there. Spark plugs. Need to buy those. 4 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, not 5. 4 will do. From memory, there was a fuel filter. Purchase $30, and the other thing we needed to get was a battery. Done. And there's one more thing on the list which I have completely forgotten, and it is fuel battery, fuel pump. No, we've got that. Great. So looks like we have got everything. So let's go ahead, and as you can see, our engine's going to require quite a bit of assembly. So let's throw on this power steering pump. We took off quite a number of parts here just to be able to isolate the issue. Might as well throw the intake manifold on now. Screw those all in. And we've got the fuel filter over here. Get the 100% version. The exhaust manifold. It was okay, no need to replace that. Not too sure why I took some of these parts off, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. Let's throw the camshaft back on. And we've got our camshaft caps. One thing this game certainly does is give you a good appreciation of what is in a motor. I assume this is relatively accurate. We may not be getting paid by the hour, but we'll be certainly charging our customers by the hour. Another camshaft cap, throw it on there. The last one. Screw it in. Let's get the fuel rail. It's on there nicely. What we actually need to do is engine head cover. Use the spark plugs. Ah, yeah, they're down under there. Yep, a different location. It should only let you screw on stuff that needs to be screwed on. Which actually helps if you don't know what you're doing. It would be certainly a much more difficult game if you had to actually know what order to put everything back on. Actually, I think I remember one of the earlier iterations of this game actually required you to know that. So you might end up putting a whole lot of stuff on and then forget, say, the spark plugs, for example. You've got to take everything apart to get them on. Here we go. We've got 4 new brand new spark plugs right here. Let's get them in there. The other ones were absolutely buggered. Okay, the final spark plug. There we go. And then the ignition coil. Get it on there. Make sure you screw that in. And what else have we got over here, folks? We have got the water pump. Very important for the cooling system. Radiator. Cam gear. I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about, but let's not fool ourselves. Belt tensioner. What else have we got next? Timing cover. Ha! You can see how many parts I had to take off to get to the components that were actually required. An idle roller. Idly rolling by. Serpentine belt. I4 SOHC. That is on there. The other serpentine belt, which is right here. Let's get that in there. Okay, I think we need our radiator. Let's throw it on there. The throttle, that's very, very handy if you want to go fast, or if you want to go at all. Looks like we're getting pretty close. I can't see any other pieces of engine that need to be fitted right there, so I think it could just be the battery, which is just over here, out of view. Let's throw on the charged battery. Take a look at our list. Everything is ticked off, but let's look at our inventory. Just make sure we've got no... Okay, we've got a brake caliper. Oh shit, I didn't attach the ignition wires. Why have I got these rubber oh, I think that's from my last job actually. I don't believe... Okay, so we've got to put these ignition wires on. If we go to add, it should give us the option. There we go. Oh, ignition wires. Put them on. I'm pretty sure that should be enough. Why is it asking me for... I didn't take any... I did take a wheel off, but I did fit it back on. Let's do a final check here. No, it's not letting me... Okay. Something has gone a little bit wrong here, folks. Let's check out our inventory. Okay, all this is rubbish. All that's rubbish, but we do have a rubber bushing, 2 rubber bushings, and well, I mean that's an 80%. I don't recall taking the rubber bushings off. I know what I have to do. I've got to drain. I've drained the oil, but I did not refill it. Phew, that could have done my head in the back for a minute. Phew. Just be thankful I'm not fixing your car. That should be good. Oh, it's spilling a bit. It's okay. I won't notice. We'll just clean it up. No problem. Now we look at the list. It's given us... Here we go. We better shut the hood. Let's finish up the job. Here we go. Ready to finish. $1,270. It's not a lot. There we go. Job has been done. And it looks like it's auto-saving. Up in the top left-hand corner, I saw it said game saved. Now, was that enough to get me another skill point? It isn't. But I think, guys, that was a long enough fix, that one there. So I think we will leave it right there. And it's been a very interesting episode. We found out that we've got access to a barn. We need a bit more money, though, if we're going to go and pick up some of those cars. So we'll work towards that. It gives us a bit of purpose around earning some cash. Managed to get that nightmare of a job completed after a lot of searching around. The customer won't know any different. They've come and picked up their car, given me their money. I'm very happy about that. But guys, I want to say a huge thanks very much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you're new, please subscribe. It costs you nothing at all except a little bit of self-respect. And until next time, take it easy.